Hey guys, CryptoDad here again. Thanks for joining me on the Saturday night live stream. Live from Michigan, where you can throw out questions and I'll do my best to get them answered. We'll talk about Bitcoin, we'll talk about the news, we'll talk about altcoins. I'm going to move some crypto around for you guys, and as always, I'll do my very best to get to your questions and see if we can't troubleshoot your problems here live. So welcome everybody. I'm wondering if the sound is working okay. YouTube's giving me some kind of alert. So I just wanted to double check that the sound is working on my streaming software. So give me that thumbs up if you can hear me. So thank you for being here during the holidays. We went to Frankenmuth, and I'll talk a little bit about that. It was pretty crazy. And now we're in between. Looks like if there's a delay between when something happens and when people start letting me know. But the market has been kind of in a... Oh, the sound is good. Great. The market's been kind of in a holding pattern since the week before Christmas. We did break 90K. I remember one morning I woke up and looked and noticed that it was just over 90K and thought, hey, we're on the upswing. This is the Christmas rally. But then it dropped back down around, I think it's holding right now about 87,500 estimated roughly. So we'll talk about the market. There's some good market news that I want to bring up. There's some good adoption news I want to bring up. The main story that I want to cover tonight is the Trust Wallet hack, which is an interesting hack. And it could have been anyone that lost money in that hack will be compensated by Binance. Binance owns Trust Wallet. But that whole scenario could have been avoided had the end user been securing their Trust Wallet extension with a Ledger device. I'm not sure how many other devices Trust Wallet supports. I'm pretty sure they support Ledger. So we're going to try that tonight. We'll see if it's a epic fail or not. But I'm going to show you how to secure a browser extension wallet like MetaMask, Rabby, or Trust Wallet with a hardware device. This would have secured the private key from the hackers because the hackers were dealing with the software. It was a software-based it's a software-based browser extension, and if you're using it as a hot wallet, then your private key is exposed to the internet and the hackers. So we're going to go over the Trust Wallet hack. It's pretty good fodder for my channel, so we'll check that out tonight. So let's go over and greet everyone that's here. Thanks for being here on the holidays, guys and girls. It's great to have everybody here on a Saturday night. I'm glad the sound is working well. Now that little error message has gone away. So I was a little concerned about it. I went over to my streaming software and the settings look good, but then it said restart required. And I'm assuming that meant if I were to change things, but I wasn't sure. And I'm like, oh boy, I hope I don't have to reboot my software here. So, hello everyone. I can see that most of the regulars are here. Andreas Ebert, Kenny Wiedner is here. Thank you so much, Kenny, for being early and for the news, as always. Goofy Dude is here. Simona Mooland, that's Simon6774. Wayne Tyler is here. Max Digit is here. Hans Hannah 350. Paul is here. Good to have you here. Tarpon65 in Sarasota. HR by Catherine, Amsterdam, Holland. Gregory Wieland. Fred McIntyre. Oh, Fred. I wanted to point this out, everyone. I had a little mini contest. And what browser did I put this in? Here. No, that's not the one. Where is that one? Oh, it's an email. Is it? No. Okay, it must be over here. I will find it. Boom, there it is. So a couple weeks ago, Fred won a Tangem Stealth card set. So I mailed it over to him along with one of my business cards. And there's this little Tangem wallet. So he did get it. I was true to my word and gave me a couple of positive emojis there. I just wanted to, call out congrats to Fred and thank him for being here and as a regular viewer. And I'm glad that he won that stealth wallet. I'll try to give away more wallets in 2026. That'll be one of my New Year's resolutions. But we got that going on. And where are we here? Oh, yeah. We're almost down. Gunbroker is here. Roland Kane, thank you for being here, Roland. Thanks for the Merry Christmas wishes. Let's see. Andy 39, Wayne Tyler, Gladiator, Swifty, and E. Poston from Colorado. So let me see if I can... where is this? That's something else, isn't it? Oh, no, this is it. Okay. So Frankenmuth is the little Bavaria of Michigan. And you can go there during the Christmas season. The whole city is lit up. It was settled by Germans. So they have some really cool little places. We stayed at the Bavarian Inn. Kind of a mistake. My family, we're not that much into the activities. My kids didn't really want to go to the water park. We did go down to the play area, but we prefer nice rooms. And I'm not saying the rooms were bad, but the room was kind of small. And the main attraction to this place is the water park and all these, events and all this stuff. There were people piling in with all their Christmas gifts. They're going to stay there over Christmas. There was a queue like with ropes to check in to the place. It was just a madhouse. There's no place to park. We were there on Sunday and Monday, before Christmas. So it was just insane at that place. So we had stayed there before a couple years ago, and it was last year. It was a different hotel, which was cool too, but it wasn't anything like this. But then we went to Bronner's, and Bronner's is like the giant Christmas store, if I can find it here. Yeah, this thing. Look at this thing. It's just massive. And, it's all like Christmas ornaments and stuff like that. And that was quite an event. We enjoyed that. But that place was packed too, to the gills. I mean, the parking lots were completely full when we came in Sunday afternoon. But we went there Monday morning, and it was crowded, but not as bad. So we had a great time in Frankenmuth. Also, I wanted to show you this picture here. This was the elevator at the Bavarian Inn, but it had a picture of the chicken dinner that they have at their restaurant. And you get, you can order this family meal, and they'll just bring you endless fried chicken and all these German sides. There's this relish over here, and the mac and buttered noodles. Oh yeah, buttered noodles, stuffing, mashed potatoes. I mean, that was awesome. We had an awesome dinner there on Sunday night, and then on Monday night we went to a barbecue place, which was awesome too. So we had some great meals, we had some great fun, and then we came home and had our Christmas, and it was great. And, I forgot to mention that one of my little gifts was, where are we here? This one? Yeah. I got my wife picked me up a Nuka-Cola button. For those of you who don't know, Nuka-Cola is the brand of cola in the Fallout series, mostly Fallout 4. I don't know if it's probably in all the... I've only played Fallout 4. And I'm enjoying watching the series on Amazon Prime, and there's a lot of Easter eggs for the game. I've played through Fallout 4 like 2 or 3 times, fully modded. I love Bethesda games. I was a Skyrim fan. And I love Nuka-Cola. And you can see behind me here on the wall, I've got some little Nuka-Cola posters over there too. I just love the look and feel of the Fallout games. A lot of fun. Let's get back to crypto, right? Okay, so you've enough about me. Let's jump into the news. We got a lot of news to cover tonight. Bitcoin saw bear market in 2025, decade-long bull run ahead, according to MOW, Samson Mao. Bitcoin reached new all-time highs in October. Oh, I forgot to mention that. Oh, yeah, I'm getting ahead of myself here. This is the description. I did a little something different with the description here. I kind of covered the main stories that we're going to talk about with links here right at the top. So you can check out these links. And then also down at the bottom, there's links to the other stories that I'm going to cover. And there's affiliate links here. My landing page for Ledger, there's a link in the description, is a little off here. It's saying that you'll get $70 worth of Bitcoin on the Flex. That was a holiday deal. That is not valid any longer, but they haven't updated my page. But if you go to your cart and skip all this, you'll see you get $10 worth of Bitcoin whenever you buy anything off my Ledger page. But I did want to point that out, that this is incorrect. And then down here it says 80, even though it also says 10. So just disregard that stuff. But check out my Ledger landing page. Check out the Trezor Safe 7. I got a link to that. It's Trezor's brand new flagship product. It's really nice. I did some demos on the Trezor Safe 7, an unboxing, and a setup with the phone. It's the first Trezor device that works, that has Bluetooth, that'll work with your phone. So you might want to check that out if you're in the market for a top tier hardware device. Also Tangem, if you're just getting started, looks like they still have their 50% off second set deal going on. So if you buy a black set, you'll get a black regular or a black stealth. You can get any other color set with it for 50% off. And if you use my CryptoDad checkout code, you'll get an extra 10% off. That link is down in the description. Stamp seed, always a great time to use a stamp seed to keep your seed phrase safe. You can get 15% off using my checkout code down in the description. Descent Wallet, I believe they're still running their giveaway, their year-end gala, where when you purchase the device, you can qualify for a airdrop, I believe. That's how it works, right? You buy this and then you sign up, and you can get some airdrops. Pretty cool. That's their year-end gala. You might want to check that out. Very popular wallet in Asia. It's a very big selling wallet. It's got one of the only biometric interfaces, well, besides one key, that you see. Trezor and Ledger don't have fingerprint readers. So you might want to check that one out. Also, a new company has contacted me. I don't know how new they are. I think they've been around a bit. But they have an e-ink display wallet. Looks like Cyberskrilla has done a review of this wallet. Somebody else I'm not familiar with. But it does have air-gap functionality. I don't know if you can use it otherwise. And it's got the digital recovery cards, 5 entropy sources for randomness. So they appear to be pretty security-minded. Appealing to the seasoned user. I would say this is probably an intermediate wallet, but I haven't gotten my hands on it yet. They're going to send me one, and I'll do a full unboxing and setup. It looks like those DigiCards are included. That would be cool. I don't know how many of those cards are included, but it looks like a pretty cool little wallet. I don't know if it works with a computer or not. It looks like it's phone only because it's air gapped. So, that'll be fun when we get that. All right, now let's jump into the news. Let's get back to where we were. We're talking about the decade-long bull run. Bitcoin could be entering a bull run lasting in the 2035, following what may have been a bear market over the past 12 months, according to Jan 3 founder Samson Mao. However, other analysts have argued that Bitcoin's all-time high of 125,100 in October marked the cycle high, and 2026 could be the start of a new bear market. So there's a lot of disagreement in analysts over whether we're in, this bear market or the cycle is ended or not. So we'll see. According to Mao, 2025 was the bear market, adding that Bitcoin may be about to record a decade-long bull run. Mao isn't alone in his view of the year, with Bitcoin analyst Plan C echoing thank you for that. AQ Rich has become a member now, thanks to Dusted in Shadow. Thank you so much for gifting out a membership, Dusted in Shadow. Let's see, Plan C echoing similar sentiment. If you made it through 2025, you made it through the bear market, Plan C said in an X post on the same day. Bitcoin could end the year in red. Bitcoin has never had two red yearly candles in a row, Plan C said, as the cryptocurrency is on track to end the year below its opening price. Interesting, even though it hit an all-time high. Bitcoin is down 8.98% since January 1st, trading at 87,210 at the time of publication. Interesting. Bitcoin's price is well below projections made by BitMEX co-founder Arthur Hayes and Bitmine chair Tom Lee. We're going to talk about Bitmine a little bit today, who suggested as recently as October that Bitcoin could still reach 250,000 by the end of the year. Doesn't look like we're going to make that. Market sentiment has been hovering near lows for most of December. So the industry is split on how 2026 will play out for Bitcoin. So it's kind of up in the air, guys. We'll see. Hang in there. Crypto ETFs set to explode higher in 2026. So Bitcoin, of course, is a cryptocurrency that lives on the blockchain, and you can buy it on exchanges and hold it and trade it on exchanges. And you can also transfer it into your very own self-custody wallet. I recommend self-custody. If you're doing self-custody, I recommend hardware wallets. You've heard me talk about hardware wallets a bit tonight already. But you can also invest in Bitcoin by buying a share in an ETF or exchange traded fund. Now, this is not actually owning Bitcoin. It's by proxy. You invest in a company that is holding Bitcoin and as a commodity, and then that price share will fluctuate with the price of Bitcoin. So it's an indirect way to invest in Bitcoin, but it is not Bitcoin self-custody. You can't buy a share in an ETF and then transfer it into your wallet. It doesn't work like that. If you want Bitcoin in your wallet, you should go to an exchange like Coinbase or Kraken or Binance and buy your Bitcoin that you can then withdraw. But ETFs are pretty popular, and this is a story about ETFs. Regulatory clarity in the United States and the likelihood of falling interest rates will push the crypto ETF market higher in 2026. Senior Bloomberg ETF analyst Eric Balkanos forecast a base case of $15 billion in capital flows in 2026 and as much as $40 billion if market conditions improve. The U.S. Federal Reserve is probably going to lower interest rates in 2026, pushing net inflows towards the mid to upper limits of the estimate, Balkanos told Cointelegraph. So a Bloomberg analyst is predicting great things for Bitcoin ETFs in 2026. So we'll see how that goes. This happened to me earlier. It's kind of weird. Now, let's jump into this story here about Trust Wallet. So Trust Wallet has been around for a long time. They were bought by Binance. But they were around before that as a small wallet company. They were bought by Binance. I'm not sure exactly when. But you can use Trust Wallet on your phone. And you can also use it as a browser extension. and we'll talk about how that works in a little bit. So the update for the latest, well, not the latest, because they've already fixed this exploit already by coming out with a more current version, but a version of Trust Wallet update had malicious code that allowed the attackers to empty out the wallets of anyone that was using Trust Wallet as a hot wallet. As I said, if you were securing the wallet with a ledger device, then this exploit would not work on you if you were using your hardware device. So this is the story. This happened on Christmas Day, just a couple days ago. Trust Wallet users lost about 7 million following an update to its Chrome extension. Binance co-founder Changpeng Zhao said the losses will be reimbursed. Users are advised to avoid version 2.68 of the extension and upgrade to version 2.69. Trust Wallet users lost more than 7 million shortly after it released an updated version of its extension for the Chrome web browser. The stolen funds will be reimbursed. The breach, flagged December 25th by on-chain detective Zach XBT, was confirmed by the wallet team. Community alert: a number of Trust Wallet users have reported that funds were drained from wallet addresses within the past couple hours, Zach XBT posted on Telegram. While the exact root cause has not been determined, coincidentally, the Trust Wallet Chrome extension pushed a new update yesterday. Crypto wallets store the keys to users' cryptocurrency holdings, and malicious actors who gain access can authorize transfers of funds to destinations they control. Crypto theft rose to $6.75 billion this year, according to a chain analysis report. The number of personal wallet compromises surged to 158,000 from 64,000 last year, though the amount stolen accounted for 20% of the total, down from 44%, it said. The breach affects version 2.68 of Trust Wallet's browser extension, the wallet team posted on X, urging users not to open the version and to upgrade to version 2.69. All right, so let's quickly run over here to the X post. I've got this X post in the description, a link to it if you want to check it out. I think down here they have some step-by-step instructions on how you should run your update. They don't want you to open it because that could expose your private key. So they give you some instructions here to toggle off and then go into developer mode and press update and check that the version number, is 2.69. So some very specific instructions for avoiding this malicious version on the Trust Wallet X account. Now, there's also quite a bit of people down here complaining that their wallets were drained. So, and of course, they're profusely apologizing. And then the question would be, how do you get reimbursed? So let's check that one real quick. I have this story linked down below, which gives you a step-by-step on exactly what to do on how to get reimbursed. So you might want to check the link down in the description on this news story if you suffered from this hack, if your wallet was drained. Let's see here. Do they actually have the step-by-step instructions? I don't think so. Let me see that again. How to claim. It's unknown how the hackers managed. All trusts who lost funds can claim a refund via a purpose-made domain. Such a statement was posted by Trust Wallet Ewan Chen on her X account. As per the statement, affected users should only apply for the compensation via the official dashboard. The procedure will be conducted with the minimum volume of details to fill. Users interested in reimbursement should specify their email addresses, compromised wallet addresses, the hacker's address, and wallet draining transaction hashes. In the description field of the request, users should share the current reimbursement sum and the address of the new wallet for compensation. Chen recommended to create a new wallet specifically for the reimbursement procedure. But they don't have a link to her X account. Let's see if I can find it here real quick. Yeah, that would be helpful, wouldn't it? Let's try this. A1 Chen. Oh. Whew. I didn't think. I thought that. Oh, here it is. Yeah, here we are. All right. So that's her X account, and I'm gonna put a link to this down in the description for you guys. If you suffered right under the Trust Wallet X account, right? So that would be the go-to method of getting yourself reimbursed if you suffered from this hack. And now I'm all over the place now. Where was I? I think it was in the other browser, right? Yeah. All right. So that's that. And where is the official? Let's see here. I don't know. I'm verified. Trust Wallet. This ongoing investigation. Browser incident. Okay. She's talking about that. Okay. Okay. Here it is. For the victims of the browser extension security, please fill in this form from the official channel only. Boom, right there. There it is. Okay, so there's the claim form. So I'll put a link to that too, just in case you don't want to have to scroll through her feed. Just check it out. Bam, there you go. All right, so that's that. If you're into it, if you were affected by this, those are some specific steps you can take to getting reimbursed. Now, let's talk a little bit about what exactly happened. I find these fascinating. Trust Wallet hit by malicious update, 7 million stolen. And then the Trust Wallet Chrome extension was compromised by malicious code in a recent update. Users who imported seed phrase into version 2.68 lost an estimated $6 to $7 million. Now, this site, a lot of times when journalists write about this stuff, they may not be fully crypto savvy or partially crypto savvy, but I'm wondering who in God's name would be importing a seed phrase into Trust Wallet. There's really no reason to import a seed phrase into Trust Wallet, although people will do it. Really, the only reason I would import a seed phrase into Trust Wallet would be if I had an existing Trust Wallet hot account, which I usually wouldn't, but let's say that I did for whatever reason. And I reinstalled my Windows, or I reinstalled my browser, and so my browser was clean, and I had to, reconnect my extensions to new crypto wallets, or new versions of I've done this many times. I wipe my computer clean, I reinstall Windows, I install my browsers, and they're clean browsers, and then I would, if I'm synced back up to an earlier, like my Chrome browser is synced up to my Gmail account or my Google account. So my extensions come back, but your wallet would not come back using that method. You would actually only have the raw extension, and it would just be an empty or brand new wallet. In that case, I would import a seed phrase of a previous version of the Trust Wallet if I had one in my previous browser. But I would not take the seed phrase of my Ledger device or my Trezor device and import it into Trust Wallet, which is kind of what it sounds like some people did if they lost Bitcoin. I guess you can manage Bitcoin in Trust Wallet. Yes, I know you can. But yeah, I would you should never import a seed phrase from a hardware wallet into a hot wallet like this. And I probably wouldn't import my MetaMask seed phrase or my Rabby seed phrase. If I already had existing wallets, then I would simply set up my Trust wallet as brand new with a brand new seed phrase. So maybe they were talking about people that already had wallets. This statement kind of troubles me here. Users who imported seed phrases into version 2.68. Perhaps what they're saying is that you already had an earlier version with a hot wallet and a seed phrase that was generated by the wallet that you had funded, and then when you upgraded, your hot wallet got drained during the upgrade. But this makes it sound like people were downloading the version cold and importing seed phrases from other wallets, which is not best practice. So a takeaway on this, please don't import existing seed phrases into brand new hot wallets. I've said this many times. I've done some videos on this. There were a lot of people that were importing their Ledger seed phrases and their Trezor seed phrases into MetaMask a couple of years back. And I had to do a video that was like, don't do that. That's not good best practice. A hardware wallet seed phrase should really only be for that hardware wallet. You shouldn't be willy-nilly importing it into strange wallets. Yeah, but that. And but normally what you would do is you would set up Trust Wallet as an extension as brand new, and it will generate a seed phrase for you, and then you can use the wallet. But even that is not best practice because you're still using it as a hot wallet. But that would be the best thing, is to start it new, generate its own seed phrase, and then work from there. If you just just transfer crypto from your other wallets in there, if you're in there for a reason, like you imported, you installed Trust Wallet to get access to certain cryptos that you couldn't get anywhere else, and then you wanted to buy those particular coins, then you could fund your Trust Wallet with some stablecoin, make your swaps or whatever. But ideally, what you want to do is secure your Trust Wallet with a hardware device. So let's go. Let's see. Okay. Let's get into that part where I do the demo a little bit later. I do want to finish up the news. I covered this story. I showed you the Trust Wallet X account. I did want to cover these other adoption stories. Coinbase CEO says reopening Genius Act is a red line, slams bank lobbying. Coinbase CEO Brian Armstrong warned that reopening the Genius Act could cross a red line, accusing banks of lobbying Congress to block stablecoin rewards and limit competition. So the Genius Act is a brand new bill that recently passed and has the president's signature that opens up regulatory clarity for stablecoins, which is really big. And I believe stablecoins will be really big in 2026 too. You'll probably be able to buy a cup of coffee with stablecoins before the end of 2026, among other things, right from your phone. But the banks don't like the fact that people can earn a return on stablecoin. You can earn a return like about 4% on stablecoin, but you can't earn much of any percentage with a bank account, right? Savings accounts used to pay pretty decent percentages, but now banks are only giving you less than 1% of return on savings account. So of course banks feel threatened by this new stablecoin ecosystem. So they're lobbying Congress to put in more pieces of the legislation that will prevent people from earning returns. Let me break it down here just by reading this out. Brian Armstrong accusing banks of using political pressure to block competition from stablecoins and fintech platforms. In a Sunday post, Armstrong said he was impressed banks could lobby Congress so openly without backlash, adding that Coinbase would continue pushing back on efforts to revise the law. So who has the most clout, I'm wondering. We won't let anyone reopen Genius, he wrote. Won't let? I guess he feels like he's got a bit of clout with Congress himself. My prediction is banks will actually flip and be lobbying for the ability to pay interest and yield on stablecoin in a few years once they realize how big the opportunity is for them. Brian, of course, has already realized the opportunity with stablecoin rewards. You can earn stablecoin rewards in Coinbase if you're holding your USDC on Coinbase. So it's 100% wasted effort on their part. Let's see here. This is Brian. Armstrong's comments came in response to a post by Max Avery, a board member and business development executive at Digital Ascension Group, who outlined why parts of the banking sector are pushing lawmakers to revisit the legislation. Avery argued that proposed amendments would go beyond banning direct interest payments by stablecoin issuers and instead restrict rewards more broadly, cutting off indirect yield-sharing mechanisms offered by platforms and third parties, namely Coinbase, Kraken, Binance, right? Avery pointed out that while banks currently earn around 4% on reserves parked at the Federal Reserve. So banks are earning 4% on their money. Consumers often receive close to zero on traditional savings accounts. So the banks are not passing on any of the rewards that they're earning on their money to customers that are putting their money in banks. Stablecoin platforms, he said, threaten that model, of course, by offering to share some of that yield with users. They're calling it a safety concern. Banks are calling it a safety concern, which is the standard line whenever you want to restrict someone's freedom. They're worried about community bank deposits, he wrote, adding that independent research shows zero evidence of disproportionate deposit outflows from community banks. And by the way, this little tag is nice. Last week, U.S. lawmakers unveiled a discussion draft aimed at reducing the tax burden on everyday crypto users by exempting small stablecoin transactions from capital gains taxes. The proposal, introduced by Representatives Max Miller and Stephen Horsford, would allow payments up to $200 in regulated dollar-pegged stablecoins to avoid gain or loss recognition. Interesting, right? Also, Bitmine begins staking their Ethereum deposits. 219 million in Ethereum proof-of-stake contract. Ethereum treasury firm Bitmine has begun staking Ethereum. And why is this always happening with this stupid website? Okay, here we go. Sorry about that. Treasury firm Bitmine has begun staking its Ethereum holdings, depositing nearly 219 million worth of Ethereum into Ethereum's proof-of-stake system. Bitmine, if you're not familiar, is a company that started off as a kind of a Bitcoin infrastructure company, leasing out Bitcoin mining rigs to other companies and that sort of thing. They're sort of in the blockchain infrastructure space, but they drew attention this year by accumulating a bunch of Ethereum in their treasury holdings, and now they're a crypto treasury company. On Sunday, multiple wallets linked to Bitmine sent large Ether transfers to a contract labeled batch deposit. On-chain data from Arkham shows the transfer totaled 74,880 Ethereum, a pattern typically associated with institutional staking setups. This is their first time staking, and they now hold 4 million Ethereum with an approximate APY of 3.2%. If all of it were staked, they could earn 126,800 Ethereum in interest over a year, which at the current price of 2,927 per Ethereum would be worth 371 million. That's a pretty good return on investment for just staking Ethereum that you're just holding, right? So a nice little practice now. Hey, we're holding a bunch of Ethereum on our books. Why don't we stake it and earn some rewards on that? So Bitcoin doing the smart thing as far as I'm concerned. Also in the news, JP Morgan freezes the account of 2 stablecoin startups over sanctions concern. So here the little guys are getting blacklisted by JP Morgan, not because they're in stablecoins, wink wink, but because they're violating U.S. sanctions. Oh, looks like things are up. That's kind of interesting. Let's see. Well, I don't see Bitcoin, but a bunch of green across here, huh? Yeah, that looks pretty good. I don't know where we are with Bitcoin. Has Bitcoin gone up? Not really. Okay, I thought I was in the middle of a market run up here. JP Morgan has reportedly frozen accounts linked to Y Combinator-backed stablecoin startups BlindPay and Contigo after flagging exposure to sanctioned jurisdictions. JP Morgan Chase has reportedly frozen bank accounts linked to 2 venture-backed stablecoin startups after identifying exposure to sanctioned and high-risk jurisdictions. The accounts belong to BlindPay and Contigo, 2 stablecoin startups who primarily operate in Latin America. Both companies access JP Morgan's banking services through Checkbook, a digital payments firm that partners with large financial institutions. I thought that I had a link to them. There they are. Yeah, Checkbook. It's not owned by JP Morgan, but it partners with JP Morgan. They facilitate digital payments. They've been around a while. The CEO noted that the checking system where people write paper checks is slow and antiquated, and this is a much more digital version of your day-to-day checks. So, but these companies in South America were using Checkbook, but also had JP Morgan bank accounts, apparently. Per the report, the freeze occurred after JP Morgan flagged business activities tied to Venezuela and other locations subject to U.S. sanctions. A spokesperson for JP Morgan reportedly said the decision was not driven by opposition to stablecoins themselves. This has nothing to do with stablecoin companies. We bank both stablecoin issuers and stablecoin-related businesses, and we recently took a stablecoin issuer public. Checkbook CEO PJ Gupta reportedly told The Information that BlindPay and Contigo were among several firms linked to a surge in chargebacks that prompted the bank to close the accounts. According to Gupta, the spike was driven by rapid customer onboarding. They opened the floodgates and a bunch of people came in over the internet. The account freezes come as JP Morgan and Checkbook deepen their partnership. In November 2024, the 2 companies announced that Checkbook would join the JP Morgan Payments Partner Network, enabling corporate clients to send digital checks. Checkbook also expanded its B2B payment offerings, targeting sectors such as legal services, government, and banking. I thought there was a little blurb here about Venezuela. is suffering from runaway inflation. So there are a lot of people that are investing or seeking, fleeing their currency and going into crypto and stablecoins in Venezuela. And unfortunately, they got caught up in a little politics, apparently. So that's it. That's it for the news. Let me get caught up and see if anyone is asking any burning questions. I heard Jade Plus could be compromised. I think it's called the Blockstream Jade. I hadn't heard about any exploits for the Blockstream Jade. Let me take a little time here to address an issue. And I'm probably going to do a full-blown video on this. I was asking ChatGTP about this. I have the pro version. And I cover a lot of self-custody news, as we've been doing tonight. And a lot of people that are new get really scared when I talk about wallets that got compromised in one fashion or another. We were talking about address poisoning scams last week. And by the way, I did post a standalone video on address poisoning scams, which is basically just taken from what I was talking about last week on the live stream. It did pretty good. This seems a lot of people are concerned about this. And so I get a lot of people saying stuff like, oh my God, I'm so scared to use self-custody, because of this. I'm just going to stick with exchanges like Coinbase. And that is not best practice. Let me see if I can find my little thing here. Yeah, here we go. Interestingly, yeah, and this is, I'm generating scripts for myself here. Okay, so this is the heart of the matter here. This is why I don't use self-custody. Exchanges are safer. Totally understandable concern, but history says otherwise. Mt. Gox, the Mt. Gox hack, they lost 850,000 Bitcoin in the Mt. Gox hack. $400 million worth of Bitcoin at the time. At today's Bitcoin price, $74 billion worth of Bitcoin. The FTX collapse, pretty recent, 8 billion to 11 billion. 8 billion in public things they admitted publicly, and 11 billion in court that said that there are people that they have debtors. The Bybit, 1.5 billion stolen in a single incident. Those weren't millions of users' mistakes. They were single points of failure. Self-custody isn't a no risk, but it's manageable. Personal risk. Exchange custody is concentrated systemic risk you don't control. The practical approach, keep trading funds on exchanges, self-custody or long-term stack. So I just wanted to kind of say that before we moved on and talked about the Trust browser. Where is this thing? No, it's not Frankenmuth. Doggone it. Man, I had this thing up and now it's gone again. Let me pull it up again. Let's see. Trust wallet. Okay. There we go. Come on, baby. All right. So we're going to do Trust wallet here in a second. But let me just, someone says they heard Blockstream Jade was compromised. I see a lot of clickbait on YouTube. A guy talking about entropy. Very smart guy, but really shaking people's faith in hardware wallets and self-custody. Hardware wallet is by far the safest and most secure way to hold your cryptocurrency. But there's a lot of fear-mongering on the internet, YouTube, Instagram, Facebook, whatever, where people are casting doubt on hardware wallets as having backdoors, being insecure, or claiming that, people make mistakes, and they're, it's easier and safer to keep your crypto on exchanges. Just based on the FTX collapse of 2022, have people forgotten about that? Billions of dollars worth of crypto were, lost by people that were holding crypto on FTX. So why anyone would think that, it's safer to hold your crypto on an exchange, I can't imagine, right? Even Coinbase and Binance, even though Binance can afford to compensate people, Binance is so big and they make so much money that when people, using one of their products lose 7 million, it's like, oh, that's fine. We'll just pull it out of our back pocket and hand it over to you. They're there to make money, but they're not your buddies, right? They are, they're there for trading, but keep your crypto in your own wallet, please. and don't fall into all this fear mongering about, hardware wallets having back doors. They don't. If a hardware wallet had a back door, it would be quickly discovered by the rating agencies that test these devices. That's how they get their security ratings. The EAL6 Plus rating is given by third parties. So, this whole idea that hardware wallets, the manufacturers have back doors and they're going to try and steal the user's money, is ridiculous claim. And it would be easily discovered quickly and the company would go out of business immediately. So try to keep, a perspective when we're talking about crypto self-custody and hardware wallets. Let's see. Docport. Docport's here. I don't import hardware wallet seed phrase to an app, but I do for a dedicated hot wallet. I import every time I transact. Only a few transactions each month when I'm not transacting. I delete the app. Yeah, so Docport is a little more advanced. And, he might keep a seed phrase in seclusion somewhere and only import it when he wants to make a few transactions. And then when he's done, he's going to delete the wallet and save the seed phrase for another time. That's careful practice, right? Banks, LOL, Federal Reserve for inflating my money away through inflation. The co-conspirators on Capitol Hill. Inflation is the hidden tax. That's right, Kenny. It would be nice if Trust added hardware wallet support. Well, let's see if they do. I want to check that. And we'll get into that in just a second. 100K in money market barley gets you 3.5 to 4% if you got the right bank. Not even 3% if it's around 50K. LOL. Yeah, in code we trust. That's right. 7 million is just the price of doing business. It's less than the marketing budget. That's true. Yeah. JP Morgan is going down because of shorting silver. Check. Silver is now over $82 an ounce. Cindy Wood, thank you for that comment. I like that. Banking with them won't be good. Well, I hate to say it, but I do have money in my I do have a Chase bank account, but it's usually empty as soon as money goes in. As soon as I get money in, it goes out to pay bills and take the family on vacations. So I don't hold a lot in my my bank account. All right, so let's check out Trust Wallet here and let's see. So so the create new wallet. Now this will create a brand new, and then they want to secure it with password or Windows Hello. I guess I could do it like that. I could even do it with a security key. That's kind of interesting. That's actually pretty secure of them to do that. I've got my little security key over here. What happened there? Did something happen? Ugh, now what? I knew I shouldn't have done this. I thought they were just going to give me a seed phrase. Okay. All right. So, all right. Yeah, so that's one way to do it. All right. So you can see I've created an empty wallet here. Okay. Here it is. Backup phrase. So backup phrase, they're going to give you these 12 words, which you'll write down. I won't show them, but you click this button, you'll write down your seed phrase. Now you've got a nice little hot wallet. Even though you had two-factor on there, The malicious hack would access your seed phrase, right? All right, so let's see if we can delete this. Let me delete it and add it again. Remove from Chrome. There we go. All right, and let's go back and download that again. Okay, so the mobile app, you can just run it on your phone if you want to do that, but I don't believe that that would allow you to connect your hardware device. But I'd like to see if we can connect our hardware device using Trust Wallet. All right, so there it is. All right, so here we are. We're back here again. So we're going to say, I already have a wallet. Okay. So yeah, maybe you can't with this. Doesn't look like you can. Well, let's just do it with a password. Okay, yeah, that's right. You got to choose a password. This is the most basic way of doing this. Okay, so we got to okay. So now, okay. See, this is what a lot of people are doing. You know, because they make it so easy. They're like, oh yeah, go ahead and import your Trust Wallet mobile seed phrase. Go ahead and import your MetaMask seed phrase. Go ahead and import your Phantom. Yeah? And it's kind of a trap because that's what they say at the beginning. They're like, oh, you're going to use Trust Wallet here? You want to start a new wallet, or do you already have a wallet, right? And that's where people get sucked in. They're like, oh yeah, well, I do have a wallet, so I'm going to make my life simple and just like import that seed phrase into Trust Wallet. No, bad idea. I wouldn't import any of these other wallets into my Trust Wallet. I would start it as a standalone wallet, just like we did the first round. And then if I wanted to trade within Trust Wallet, I would just fund the Trust Wallet with some stablecoin with a wallet-to-wallet transfer, right? You can trade. I don't know why people don't seem to get that you can move crypto back and forth between wallets, exchanges. You know, they're always asking me stuff like, what if this wallet company goes out of business? I'm like, move your crypto. I mean, it's not rocket science. You know, people get, all bent out of shape. I'm worried this company's going to go out of business. I'm like, well, it's not going to, you're not going to wake up one morning and your wallet won't work. You might hear on the news, hey, so-and-so's in trouble. And so it's like, okay, it looks like they're about to go bankrupt. Let me move my crypto. It's not like your crypto's trapped in your wallet. But, on the other hand, you don't want to import from other wallets into Trust Wallet either, They make it sound easy and simple. But what you would want to do is start a brand new wallet and fund the brand new wallet, maybe from one of these other wallets, with a transfer. Don't import the seed phrase. But yes, it looks like they do support Ledger. I'm going to try using my Ledger Flex. Sometimes these third-party wallets will only support older models like the X or the Ledger Nano S Plus, but and they don't support the newer ones. But I'm going to give it a shot. We're going to go ahead and connect my Ledger Flex, right? I'm going to enter my PIN. All right, and so I've done that. Let's take a look over here, just so you can see what's going on. I mean, you can see over here I've got this thing on. Oh, I don't need the Exchange app open. I must have accidentally done that. All right, so yeah, I'm not going to move over there. I'm just going to show you what the screen looks like here. We'll go back here. Yeah, so yeah, we'll choose Ledger. All right, and it asked me to select network. Okay, so I could do Bitcoin too. Interesting. Now, what this will do will be to export an existing wallet, but only the public part. The private key will remain on my device. So I'm going to say Ethereum, and so it tells me unlock your ledger with the computer, open the Ethereum app on your ledger, click the connect button when you're ready. Okay, so let's do that. Let's go over here. Oops. That was weird. I had my mouse was connected. All right, so sorry about that. All right, so boom, we just open Ethereum, right? And then let's take a look over here. We'll go ahead and hit connect. All right, and then this is the browser connector. Now, a lot of people get messed up on this. Let me go back over here and focus on this real quick. Hopefully it won't go away. Whoops, sorry. Yeah, it did. Okay, let's try that again. Let's go back. All right, so we'll hit that, and then we'll hit connect. Okay, so you gotta, this browser window, sometimes if you have browser pop-ups blocked, that's going to interfere with this whole process. Right, so, but, you know, make sure, whoops, oh. Yeah, we've got the Ethereum app open, so that should be good. Now let's give it a second and see if it works. It may or may not work. Like, as I mentioned, sometimes it doesn't work with the older models. Let me see. I know I have a Ledger X around here somewhere. Yes, I do. So we're kind of getting the spinning death. So we might need to, let me see if this thing is set up. Well, the battery's gone. All right, I'm going to give it just a minute. I'm in the Ethereum app on the device, so this should be working, but it doesn't appear to be working. Of course, I did stop and restart the process, but yeah, I get pretty much feel like it's just not compatible with the Ledger Flex. So let's go back. All right, and I'm going to disconnect the Flex. And now I'm going to connect my Ledger Nano X. Hopefully this thing is set up. It looks like it. I have wallets laying all over the place in various states of being set up or not being set up. So, and I'm constantly wiping them. So I don't know sometimes whether or not the wallet's even set up or not. But luckily this one was. All right, so we've got our Ledger Nano X, and let's go ahead and enter the Ethereum app. All right, so now I'm ready. Let's see if we can get this guy connected. I almost muted on you there. Almost muted it, but I didn't. All right, so let's try it again. And let's hit connect, and it should pop up there. It says Nano X, connect, and let's see if this works. Now, if this doesn't work, I'm going to go nuts. This should work. Notice also that I might need to like quit the browser and start over again, which if it doesn't connect, it should just connect right away. Notice, too, that they only supported Ledger. There were no other options. There were no Trezor, no Tangem. Well, Tangem wouldn't work. There was no Wallet Connect, no Cold Card. None of the other brands are supported in this wallet. The only one was Ledger. Why is that? Because Ledger makes a concerted effort to make their dev tools available to projects. So if you see a third-party wallet and it has hardware support, it's most likely going to be Ledger support. All right, so this is not working. I'm just going to quit the browser and start the browser again, see if we can't make this thing work. All right, let's go back here. Gonna probably have to start over again. Okay. All right, so we still have my, I already have a wallet. I'm gonna choose a password. Okay. As I mentioned, oh, well, other mobile wallet or extension here, I don't know about that. Hardware wallets, Ledger. It's the only one. All right, so I'm in the Ethereum app. I got the device connected. It should pop up. Whew, now it's not even popping up the browser window for me anymore. Well, I should have known better than to try this live, huh? All right, I'm going to quit the app. Okay. Yeah, this is just, they're just not cooperating with me tonight, are they? Okay. All right. I get it. You're just not going to be nice to me tonight. Okay. Well, unfortunately, I'm the kind of guy that doesn't usually give up that easy. All right, so we're going to say I already have the wallet. Ugh, got to go through this every single time. Okay. All right, come on now. Ledger. I'm in the Ethereum app. Connect. Ugh, it's just not working for me. Okay, let's try it in a different browser and see if we can get that to happen. All right, so I don't know if I have it in here. No. Okay. Trust. Whoops. Trust wallet. This should work. I don't know why it's not working. It's usually something really easy that I'm not paying attention to. Always happens when I'm live. But this should be working. Okay. Yeah. And of course, they're recommending that I use. Okay, so here we go. I already have a wallet. I got to do this password thing again. Okay, now let's try this again. Got the ledger attached. Yes. Yes, the ledger is attached. All right, connect. There. Okay, I got that window. That's hurdle number 1. All right, now let's see if it sees my device the way it should. This is weird. I've never had this happen to me. Well, I'm sure I have, but I mean, this is like really, I mean, this is usually like a slam dunk process. Usually just happens on the first try. So I don't know why it's just not cooperating with me tonight, but it is. So yeah, I don't know. I don't know why it's not connecting. Maybe that's why everyone's using it as a hot wallet. But it should be working. I mean, I have the ledger attached. I'm in the Ethereum app, and but it's just not connecting. I don't get it. Oh well. And I can't think of anything else. I mean, the browser doesn't have pop-ups blocking. The Ethereum is open. The device is attached. Yeah, it should be working, but it's not. Yeah, well, supposedly it works with Trust, Fred, but not having much luck with it tonight. But apparently they do support it. And I think it would be a big deal if it was not working for anybody. Maybe I got to reboot my computer and try a couple of different ways. Or sometimes these things can be flaky. I've had issues with Solana wallets like Solflare where, I got to like quit the browser, disconnect and reconnect the device and go through all kinds of rigmarole. Let me do that. I'm going to disconnect the device. Oh, there, it realized the device is connected or disconnected, right? It saw that. Okay, but I'm going to go ahead and try one more time. Yeah, it's weird. Okay. Okay, we're almost there. Okay. All right, now the device has now been opened up again. Disconnected, reconnected, back in the Ethereum app. Let's try this again. All right. See, now it's like, okay, I see a device, but I don't know what to do with it. I don't know. Maybe it only supports the Ledger Nano S or S Plus. It's weird. You would think they would say that, but they don't. So, but it seems inconceivable that it wouldn't support the Ledger Nano X, which has been around since 2019. I mean, come on. It's a 5-year-old device. But every now and then you'll run into that, like they only support the Ledger Nano S, even though it's been discontinued. Yeah. I may have a Ledger S Plus in here somewhere, but I wasn't planning on this, so yeah, I don't know where it is. Okay. Now I feel like Captain Kangaroo. Oh, wait a minute. This is one. No, what is this? Is this an S? I thought I had one that was, and if I do have a Ledger Nano S, it's probably not set up. Oh, wait a minute, this one. No? Where is that orange one that I have? Aha, here it is. Okay, let's try. All right, I got a Ledger Nano S. Let's see if, well, first of all, we got to see if this darn thing is even set up, which it may not be. Okay. Well, we'll go back. All right. Okay, I'm going to connect my device. And let's see if this thing is, well, there's a pin. That's a good sign. Usually if it's not set up, it'll be like start process. Okay, we're getting there. Yep, invalid pin. Okay. Okay, it's open. All right. And I'm going to go into the Ethereum app. See, just so you can see. All right, we're going to go into the Ethereum app. Okay. Ethereum app's ready. All right. And let's see what we can do here. I already have a wallet. I'm going to use a password. Okay. Get this other junk out of the way. All right. Okay. Moment of truth. Is it going to work? Connect. Okay. Nano S Plus. Connect. Yeah, this would just, like, if this works, I'd be so weird. It'd be so weird. It's like, okay. Doesn't work with the X, but it does work with the Ledger Nano S Plus. Maybe not. I don't know what I'm doing wrong, but I mean, I've done this kind of thing 1,000 times. I don't know why it's not working, but hey. The only thing I could say is let's try it over in Chrome. Because Chrome supposedly, oh wait, that's, okay. Let's go back to Chrome. Let's try it one more time in Chrome and then I'm going to give up. I just can't take it anymore. Okay. Okay, let's get that password good every time. Okay, here we go. Okay, Ledger Nano S Plus. Yeah, I don't know if it's like checking the blockchain or doing something bizarre that takes it like 5 minutes. Am I supposed to just sit here for like 10 minutes and wait for it to like pull up the wallet? Maybe that's what I'm not waiting long enough. Maybe that's the problem. I don't know. Maybe turn on the Wi-Fi and put the Wi-Fi on airport and turn it back on again. Interesting. I'm just connecting it with the USB cable, so I don't know that the Wi-Fi would affect that. I'm connecting it directly to my computer with a USB cable, but not a bad suggestion. I'm probably not going to go through all that. I can't really reboot my modem or anything during my stream either, which I might do. Let's just give it a minute and let while it's doing this. I heard the compromise was only on desktop and it happened because of Chrome update. That is correct. Yeah, we covered the whole story behind Trust Wallet. And, my contention was that if you use Trust Wallet with a hardware device, then you would have been immune from that hack. And even though we are using the extension, but we also just downloaded that hacked update has been updated again. So I don't know where I could look at the version. I think I need to be in the wallet in order to go to About. But this is the latest version. This isn't the hacked version of Trust. I'm just trying to demonstrate how you connect a hardware device to Trust Wallet so that you can manage your crypto using your device rather than using a hot wallet. So we got pretty close. I mean, I showed you how the hot wallet thing worked, and that's fine if you're only going to be trading, manageable amounts. You don't want to import the seed phrase of your go-to wallet or, drop huge amounts of Bitcoin in a browser-based hot wallet. But as Docport said, he uses a hot wallet occasionally, using a mnemonic phrase that he has kind of keeps offline when he doesn't need it. And he does what he needs to do, and then he deletes the app. But he knows that he's still got the seed phrase to the wallet should he ever need it again. So there are different ways that you could, there might be some use cases where you might want a hot wallet, but most those are very narrow use cases. The main use case is that you should be using a hardware wallet for your go-to crypto storage. And most third-party browser-based wallets support Ledger devices and Trezor too. MetaMask supports Ledger and Trezor and some other Wallet Connect compatible wallets. Rabby Wallet supports Ledger and Trezor. Coinbase Wallet supports Ledgers and Trezors. And apparently Trust Wallet does too, but for some reason it's not working for me tonight. So I'll have to start on this fresh tomorrow and see if I can get this thing to work, and then maybe finish the video at home standalone, and then I'll post it on my channel if I can ever get through this part. I don't understand what's going on. We've tried 2 different browsers and 3 different hardware wallets, and none of them seem to be connecting. So who knows? Maybe when I'm offline, I don't know. I mean, I have a little screen sharing software with my phone that I can use to share my phone screen with you guys, but it won't work when I'm trying to share my screen while I'm setting up a Tangent wallet. Tangent wallet detects that I'm screen sharing the phone, and it won't work during won't do the initial setup. But I doubt that that's what's going on here. I don't know. I really don't know what's going on here. Last thing I'll try, one more thing, is I'll try on the Bitcoin network, just for the heck of it, right? Because I do have the Bitcoin app on this device. And it's basically an empty wallet anyway, so I'm not going to worry about. Says it's connected. No, it doesn't even recognize that the device is even connected, even though I'm in the Bitcoin app. So yeah. At least when I do the Ethereum thing, it sees that the wallet, okay, like if I'm in the Bitcoin app, it goes, right? But if I'm in the Ethereum app, it's like, oh, I see. Oh, no, now it's not doing it at all, right? Now it's just broken. Oh well. Epic fail. It's not the first epic fail I've had on my live stream. As the Breadwinners cartoon says, well, it was an epic fail. But At least it was epic. All right, so that's it. I'm giving up on this. Yeah, it says it supports it, but it doesn't seem to work very well for whatever reason. I'll try again some other time. Just tried to sync the mobile app to the extension. The mobile app only supports wallets generated by Trust, not connected ledger signers. Interesting. So the mobile. Oh, okay, yeah. Yeah, Fred, I would not import the seed phrase of your mobile app into the extension. The mobile app was not affected at all by this exploit. And I also have the mobile app, but I don't think it supports connecting hardware devices through Bluetooth. It might. There are some mobile apps, mobile wallet apps that do support that. Well, Ledger Wallet has a mobile app that works with Bluetooth with Ledger devices. But there are some other ones like MetaMask Mobile and Rabby Mobile and a couple other, maybe Soulflare Mobile, that will work with a hardware device via Bluetooth. Yeah. I really am just dumbfounded that this won't work. As soon as I saw that they supported Ledger, I was like, easy peasy. But no, we've been at this 20 minutes. I'm done. Anyway, guys, Caesar Coco says, what is the purpose of this Trust wallet instead of something more established like Coinbase? Dumb question. Don't judge me, please. No, I'm not judging you at all. Something more established like Coinbase is not self-custody. We talked a little bit about the reason why self-custody is better for storing your crypto than storing it on exchanges. But I get the question, what you're asking me. And let's just say you're asking me, why would I use this Trust wallet as opposed to my Ledger wallet or my Trezor wallet or MetaMask or something bigger, better, or whatever. Sometimes you might use a particular wallet because you're after a particular coin. Sometimes, like, let's just say it's SUI coin, SUI. Back in the early days, if you wanted SUI, and you wanted to store it, you needed their wallet only. There were no other wallets that supported SUI token. So that is a use case for maybe going after a particular wallet software, right? Another use case might be that you're after some certain functionality. You'll notice that earlier when I set up this wallet standalone as a hot wallet, there was like a little swap trading interface where you might get access to some coins that you might not be able to buy on Coinbase. So, for example, you hear about a coin, you want to invest in this coin, they don't sell it on Coinbase, you can't access Binance proper because you're in the US, but you can install the Trust wallet and through that interface maybe swap for the coin you're after. So that's another reason why you might be wanting to use a particular wallet. A coin that you can't get anywhere else, or functionality or trading interfaces that you can't get anywhere else, or being able to trade for a particular coin that you want that you can't get on Coinbase or somewhere else. That would be why you would do that. I know it's a particular use case. It's not like a generalized use case. Most beginners are better off sticking with Coinbase. Coinbase is pretty trustworthy. But in theory, it's safer and more secure to store your crypto in a self-custody wallet. We kind of went through that earlier in the stream about all the people that have lost money through keeping their coins on centralized exchanges. Mt. Gox, the FTX that collapsed in 2022 where people lost billions, and Bybit, which was just hacked this year, where they lost like 1 point something billion dollars. That was other people's money that got exploited. Right, so that's why. Yeah. But thank you for your question, Caesar. I don't judge you at all. Thank you for being here. I appreciate it. Yeah. Oh, I see. You were asking something earlier. I have a new Ledger Stacks and have never used it to get off online. Can someone share the USB drive was for transfer my coins onto it? Caesar, before I jump off, I'm going to give you my, let's see here, my latest stacks setup video. This video will show you everything you need to know about getting your stacks device set up. And then I also do some test transfers where I, transfer some Bitcoin on and transfer some Bitcoin off. So I would start there if you're curious about using your Ledger stacks. Keep in mind that your crypto is never stored directly on the device. The device is like a set of car keys for your blockchain-based crypto. Crypto is stored out there on the blockchain. Even when it's on Coinbase, Coinbase has it in one of their wallets, which is on the blockchain. So even though they have control of it, it's still on the blockchain. And when you store crypto in your own wallet, you're storing it on the blockchain, and your wallet is just a tool to access your blockchain addresses. I know that's complicated, but that's a fairly common misconception that you store crypto in the device. That's not how it works. The device is just a tool, a key, a signer. Anyway, check out that video. It's good to have you here. It is very confusing, I agree. I've been at this for a while. So if you're curious, just check out my channel, and I've got plenty of videos out there, tutorials and explainers. Anyway, guys, it's I was a little off trying to work with this Trust wallet, but we had some fun. And I'm look forward to seeing you guys again next week. I'll be here 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Join me again for the live stream from Michigan, where you can throw up questions and I'll do my best to get them answered. If you like this video, give it a thumbs up. If you'd like to subscribe to the channel, I would appreciate it. When you subscribe, there's a little bell that you can click that will allow you to be alerted whenever I post new content. Once again, thanks for joining me, and hope to see you guys again soon or next week. Thank you, everyone, for being here tonight. Thank you, Kenny, for the news and for being here early. Thank you, everyone that asked questions. If I did not get to your question and I missed you in the chat, go ahead and shoot me an email. The email is at the bottom of the description, thecryptodad@gmail.com. I'd be happy to answer your questions through email. So once again, I hope to see you guys again soon, and hope you have a very happy and safe New Year's. Merry Christmas, belated Merry Christmas, and all that good stuff. Good night, everybody.